Hello, everyone. Welcome to my stream today. Um, I'm not sure who is here. It's always like so hard to know, but I'm guessing you are here. So you are here for a reason. So thank you for being here. And as such, right, I've been having a very, very busy summer with my travels and then going to conferences, which I do love a lot. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I go to conferences as a developer advocate. So if you are new here, welcome. And just in case you wonder what a developer advocate is, I myself, I was a developer myself, right, for over 20 years, and then decided that okay, it's time for a change. Because most developers, right, it is just, or at least is being projected to as being very kind of inner. I shouldn't say like all introvert, but sort of like having that kind of a personality, introvert. And I recently actually did a test. It's the Myers-Briggs test, and if you've done it, you may be able to find out about your personality, like if you are interested. But anyway, in my case, I found out that okay, I'm actually slightly more extrovert than I'm introvert, because I always thought I was introvert. But anyway, I think that's where the struggle maybe came in, because then I started realizing that I am actually, missing something being just a developer, as much as I like being it. But the fact is, there's that. The outreach side of things that I like to do, and so I finally get a chance, right, to do this. And I'm going out, in other words, I'm not a full-time developer anymore, although I do miss it. On the other hand, as we know, right, as developers, we do need to spend a lot of time into perfecting our craft. And it is certainly, software to me is a craft, right? I mean, we work in places that are sometimes these days that are more just like mechanical. But the thing is, I refuse to look at it like it's mechanical. True, you can use it to produce money, so to speak, right? You make money out of it. That's fine. We need to make a living out of it, don't get me wrong. But the thing is too, at the same time, I think we need to appreciate what we have, and there's just so much in it, creativity that can happen in software, that I think, that's what it kind of drives me, kind of motivate me, so to speak. And it's just fun to do some of these things. Don't look at it like they're chores. Don't look at it like they're boring things. They are really interesting things that we can, find your joy in everyday life, right? Something. I think it is important. You feel passionate about what you do. You believe in what you do, and you bring joy to people, you bring joy to yourself. I think it's always a good thing, right? And that's just I'm hoping that folks, everybody in the world can basically find joy in what you do every day rather than looking at it as boring stuff. And let me see, I think I see somebody here. Aaron, is this Aaron, my colleague Aaron? Yes, how are you? Thank you, Aaron, for being here. Hello. Now, today I'm kind of a bit disorganized, right, Aaron? I mean, as you know, well, Aaron, by the way, is Cassandra. Uh, MVP. He's just amazing guy. So he and I we're gonna be doing with our colleague Rex and wave. Hello. Would you like to join me, Aaron? If you're ready, I can add you and send you the link if you want to pop in for a second if to say hi. Maybe tell folks about Cassandra. I think that will be good too. Because honestly speaking, I'm not very good with Cassandra. I think it's more of Aaron. Aaron is the most valuable, person, right? Or what MVP is most valuable person? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let me, folks, if you can hold on to a little bit because I want to invite my guest, Aaron. So I have to send Aaron a link. So let me I have to find Aaron on our chat so I can give him the link. So give me a second. Yeah. So I want Aaron to come and tell us about NoSQL. How about that? I like this kind of thing. So yeah. And Aaron, I just gave you the link. If you want to join, I can, as soon as you join, I can add you into this thing. Although it's funny though, because of how I arrange my screen, I might need to adjust a little bit as you join too. But yeah, and yeah, I think that would be great. And I think Aaron said something to me. And what is it? I see a chat, but then I can't get to it. It's kind of strange. Okay, all right, nothing. I think it's okay. Yeah, professional. Yeah. Well, professional. Yeah. It is. It is. You mean professional? I don't understand, Aaron. You're asking about professional. Oh, here we go. Here's Aaron. I can see. Let me. Now I may need to kind of adjust. So just give me a second, okay? Hey, Aaron. Yeah.
Hey there, Mary. Sorry,
How are
I'm a
you?
little. My video is a little dark here, but
Yeah, no
Hello.
problem. I can see you. Thank you so much for popping in. I love it whenever
Oh,
people come
yeah.
by and let me kind of is it better this way?
Yeah,
Well,
I think that
maybe kind of
works.
that works better, right? Rather than kind of just often squished together. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I'm also like I'm not a pro, so I mean I'm just doing this, as I'm learning and doing it at the same time. But yeah, that's so good to have you here,
Yeah,
Aaron. Thank you.
it was super cool in that I was just looking at Twitter a few minutes ago and it said, "Oh, Mary is streaming." I'm like, "Oh, I think I'll pop in there."
Oh, thank
And
you.
then when you were asking like, "Well, who's all in there right now?" I'm like, "Oh, that's right. Twitch is supposed to have a chat feature, and it took me forever to find the expand because
Oh, yeah.
it didn't give me the chat by default."
Oh,
So yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah. That's right.
took
Yeah,
me a second to say hello. So hello.
thank you. Hello, hello. Yeah, I welcome. Like I said, I sometimes I find I'm just popping in just to I'm kind of thinking, what should I say, kind of thing. So this is great. I love these kind of ad hoc thing, and then you can come in and I mean, very very no pressure. So I was just thinking, everybody. I mean, I don't know how many people are here live, but people will be watching us afterwards too. So it's great to have Aaron here. Aaron is again my colleague at DataStax. He's Cassandra MVP. You are like one of the most expert person on earth for Cassandra. So yeah, it's
No,
very nice.
no,
So
there's so many people, especially those who are deep in like you know, the database internals of Cassandra that know it so much better than I do. But yeah, I do have a bit of experience using it. I love that you have the Chicago background along the river there. I actually used to work at Granger, which is
yeah.
based out of the Citibank building, which is like just above Ogilvy Station there. So yeah, we used to go like for walks, by the river all the time. And yeah. Anyway,
That's right. Yeah, you recognize this. Yes,
I
yes. This is
do.
a picture I took, and I thought I'd use it as my background for not for today, for now, and before I pop in my ID, do things. So, yeah. But yeah. So good to have you here, and
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, maybe you can tell us something. I think I know that there was one episode long time back, or at least a couple months back. I think I was talking about NoSQL, just kind
Mhm.
of exploring it. Maybe you can tell folks, right? I mean, people with most people. I mean, I think a lot of people these days are more familiar with NoSQL, but still,
Right, right.
there are probably more people more familiar with relational
Yeah,
database.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But I could talk a little bit about that. Sure.
yeah, an introduction and kind of refreshing people's memory if people are just new here or stopping by. Yeah, I think that would be good. So
So, NoSQL databases, they tend they kind of evolved out of, problems with scalability that people were trying to solve. And like right around the turn of the century, right around 2000, that type of era. And, that was where, people would realize that, oh, wow, the database server got overworked. Well, maybe we need two, maybe we need three of them. So of course back then what you had was, like two or three MySQL servers, and you did your best to try and keep them in sync, but that didn't really work so well. So it actually did require a new kind of like data storage paradigm, if you will, to kind of come into play there. And so that's where everyone knows some of the more popular ones, like MongoDB and Cassandra. They all kind of came out of that same like early to mid 2000s era of like distributed data problems starting to get bigger and bigger and become more of a thing. So the idea was, of course, is it all goes back to, I'm going on a big tangent here, but it all goes back to Dr. Eric Brewer and Dr. Armando Fox's paper that they wrote at Stanford called Harvest Yield and what is it? No. Harvest Yield and Scalable Tolerance. God, it's bugged me that I can't remember the exact name of it. But anyway, it's the paper that the CAP theorem originated from.
Oh, okay.
And CAP theorem is basically like all systems try to adhere to 3 points, of consistency, availability, and network partition tolerance. But realistically, they can only do 2, because, well, I mean, physics, that's
That's right. Yes.
that's kind of the thing there.
Yeah.
So the idea was to create, a new type of database that could adhere to different CAP properties, if you will.
Yeah.
So your traditional relational database is more of a CA type of a database. It can be both consistent and highly available because it's designed to be only in one system. It's that when you introduce multiple, compute instances, that you have that network time coming in, and that becomes the choice of, well, do we want to always give an answer, or do we always want to give the right answer?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, So then you had databases like Mongo that said, well, we want our data to be consistent, so we're going to go down the consistent distributed path. And then, Cassandra's like, well, our users typically care more about getting a very, very fast answer, which may not be entirely up to date.
Yeah.
So Cassandra is definitely more of an AP database. What you find is that they can be tuned to kind of be on a sliding scale with that, if you will. So you can make Cassandra more consistent. You can make Mongo more available.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So okay. So you're talking about CAP theorem, but that also the 3 factors, right? One is the network. I think what is it called? The network.
Yeah, that's the partition tolerance, right?
Partition
tolerance. So yeah, the idea is that if you're you have like a network failure that isolates one or more of your instances, that's called a network partition. And then the tolerance to be able to work through that or around that is really where that distributed aspect comes into play. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So in other words, okay, so Cassandra would be more like for the responsiveness then in that case,
Mhm.
yeah, right, really like you want to do that. So let's say, right, so can you kind of repeat again, then there are also other ones, right, kind of like Mongo, or there are also Couchbase, or all
Oh
these
yeah.
other
Yeah.
things, right? So like what do well, just want to kind of like say, right? People try to decide which one to use. Then what would Cassandra maybe like the best for, right? The kind of use cases like.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, and that's one that you'll see a lot out there too. You know, if you do like some googling on it, you can Google, um, what should I use Cassandra, and it'll like autocomplete, with these different cases, or things like that. Really, what it comes down to is what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
If you're looking at more of like a document store like Couchbase or Mongo for that
Hmm.
matter,
Yeah.
and you are, maybe not all of your documents have all the same properties,
Oh,
so those two you can go with a more like schemaless or kind of a dynamic schema approach,
oh, okay. Yeah.
and that tends to work a little better.
Yeah.
Um, Cassandra, on the other hand, it's funny how it evolved, but it did used to be schemaless, where you could add columns kind of like on the fly, but you can't really. That's not the case anymore. Now it's to the point where it is,
Oh,
kind of,
yeah.
has a very very standard way of enforcing schema, kind of like Oracle does, or MySQL does, or Postgres, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's right.
and,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the thing is that. With a lot of the document stores or consistent
Yeah.
distributed data stores, that the way that they tend to do it, um, they have a consensus protocol underneath that's called Raft, and I
Oh,
forget exactly what Raft stands for, but essentially it's built around like leader election, and
oh,
picking like a primary server to kind of do everything.
yeah.
So with those databases, you tend to have like like a few primary servers, and then like shards underneath them.
Okay.
So like if you're indexing, your documents like on last name, so G for Grigelski. I hope
Yeah.
I said that right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Maybe G ends up on like server number 2, so it's going to go through one of the primary servers, get redirected to like
Oh.
the shards that hold
Oh.
last name of like letter G, for
Oh. Okay.
example, is kind of how you do that.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
so
Okay.
so that so that's kind of a big difference between how Cassandra and a lot of the other like highly available databases handle that.
Oh.
Where Cassandra and Astra are more what's known as like peer to peer.
Oh.
So any
Okay.
node can handle a read or write or whatever else, and it
Oh.
uses that distributed hash to kind of figure out which data goes on which node, and
Mode.
and
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of when you get down to the bare bones, that's like those are like the main architectural differences there.
Oh, okay, okay. So now I got it. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. So yeah. So then in that case, is it Cassandra? Is it then how does it work with Kubernetes? For example, right? Like a Kubernetes cluster, things like that, or
Okay. So that gets a little trickier. Sorry, I'm responding to a text from one of my daughters
oh,
here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you may need to pick up your daughter, right? Yeah.
Oh,
You
no, no,
can.
no! I've done all the driving, and so this is just,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
can I have a friend over? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so Kubernetes. When you look at it, Cassandra, it's just been my experience. Maybe somebody has other experience out there as well, but Cassandra for me was one of the easier databases to build and deploy into Kubernetes.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
that peer-to-peer architecture that does make that easier to do.
Okay.
Where if you go back to like the strong consistent distributed data stores, it's like you have your primary nodes, you have your secondary nodes, you have config nodes, you have routing nodes, and then you have shards, and it's like you have to somehow make like your control plane aware of those differences,
Oh,
because if one of them fails and it's got to bring up another pod to replace that, it has to know what it's replacing. So that's
oh,
where
gotcha.
that gets kind of tricky. But with Cassandra, it's like, it can go away,
Yeah.
and you can have some logic in there that brings it back up with the it'll come up with a new IP address, but you can actually tie that old IP address to it so that it
Oh,
knows what token ranges it's responsible for, and it makes it very, very easy. Um,
oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, one of the main reasons that you'd want to go with something like Kubernetes for Cassandra is that it helps you abstract like compute and storage away.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so you could build out something like let's say that you only wanted to build a Cassandra node with like 4 CPU cores,
Oh,
but we're going to have like a terabytes worth of storage out there.
oh,
But and that may work for one use case, but if you have maybe a different use case that might be a little more CPU intensive but like smaller volume, well, then you can adjust your resources there so that maybe you want to build this one over here with 8 cores and 200 gigs of RAM or gigs of storage or something like
oh,
that. But it allows for that separation, which is
oh,
really cool. um,
oh, okay. Yeah,
Plus
yeah,
you can snap your fingers and build a new cluster in a matter of a matter
yeah.
of minutes.
That's right. That's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. And of course, too, while we work for DataStax, which actually we also have, I mean, kind of turning more into the cloud, then there's
Right,
the
right.
Astra DB, which is really efficient. And yeah, again, wanting to tell folks too, while I'm here, let me kind of show again. If folks are here, please sign up for our free, let me see, right here. So Astra.datastacks.com is where folks can sign up for a free account to play around with Astra DB and $25 credit, right, to start with, which is a good thing. So
Oh
yeah, folks
yeah.
can play
And
around with
most
that.
people will never exceed that $25 max there.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then it runs on, you can pick either GCP or Azure or AWS. So
Mhm,
it's all at,
mhm.
that $25 cover that is really a good deal.
Yeah,
So
I think so
yeah,
too.
yeah, that's right. So yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
yeah, and then while I'm here too, wanting to tell folks too, if you want to join, let me kind of bring up to the JConf. I have
Oh
the JConf
yeah,
right here.
yeah.
If I
You're
wanted to
right. This
tell,
is good advertisement for JConf. Yeah, there we
yeah,
go.
for JConf, let me kind of go in here, but I have to share the screen. Although I'm gonna put it over behind me, but then I will have to see if I can share the screen. Like I'm gonna do it like a different way of doing. Okay, it's right that, but let me also share my screen because I have you, so I have to share this and then that one. Let me see how it works in here, and I have to
Uh,
add it. Show on stream. There we show on the stream. Yeah, there we go.
hey,
Okay,
there we go.
didn't do it wrong, but okay. Then let me hide this. So so yeah, friends, if you want to, if you're in Chicago, we are Aaron and I, and also another colleague of ours, Rex. We are
Mhm.
all developer advocates, and Rex and Aaron are on the Cassandra or Astra DB Cassandra side, and I'm on the streaming side, the Pulsar. But we work together, and then we're gonna do this full day workshop and at this conference in Chicago called jconf.dev. So let me also like share again if folks are interested. Let me see. I thought I have it. Yeah, sometimes I thought I have these banner, but I actually have not got this one ready. So I have to add this one in jconf.dev. Chicago community run conference. Yeah, and it it costs you some money, but the nice thing is that it's not too expensive. And if you look through right, jcom.dev, and this is the website. Oh, I kind of have a well. Anyway, it's https jcom.dev, and then as you can see, there's individual conference 495, and then workshop and conference combo 795. But I believe there's still right now. I gotta check again. So let me know and join me on my Discord too. and I can share with you the discount code actually for getting even lower price than what's listed here. So and yeah, so let me kind of scroll a little bit. They're actually going to have 5 full days of 5 full like hands-on workshops on the first day, the September 26th. And then we have, okay, I actually am here, but actually that's the thing, right? Aaron, it should be Aaron's picture in here, but Pratik, right? The organizer.
Okay.
But anyway, there's a building an e-commerce service backend with NoSQL. So that's the workshop we'll be doing. And if we click on it, actually I have to click on this, and actually this should be changed. We will see Aaron and Rex in here too. So this will be about building an e-commerce service backend with NoSQL, and essentially we'll be using Cassandra, Astra DB, which is the DataStax cloud-based Cassandra multi-managed cloud platform. So distributed database, and then we'll be also using Java Spring Boot for the app. And Aaron built this together. It's actually all Aaron's, hard work putting it together. So good. We did this on our DataStax developer YouTube channel, and I had the very honor of joining Aaron on the fourth episode when we did some work with streaming with Pulsar on the shopping cart side. So
so we're going to talk a little bit about that too. So yeah, streaming is totally going to be a part of it. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there, but
oh well, yeah. Thank you. Yes, but it is still that Aaron put this together. I wanted to point that out. So yeah, so please consider. Like I said, this will be kind of further updated, but then there are also other workshops like Vancat, who is a very well-known Java speaker. He's wonderful and great, guy, and it's just he's wonderful. So he'll be having software designed by practice, and then Josh Long from Pivotal, or used to be Pivotal, now VMware, or now actually Broadcom. I think they bought it, but it's all these like progression of how that team kind of have progressed through. So Josh will be the Spring advocate, right? We'll be talking about Kubernetes native Java for the day. Daniel Hinojosa will be on Java design patterns with a modern functional flair, and he's really funny guy too. And I just saw him at the Kansas City Developer Conference last week. And then there's also Christopher Judd from Ohio, from the Columbus Java Users Group, so leader of that, and he'll be doing the Java web application like hacking and hardening workshop. I mean, he's a great guy. All these are great guys in there. But I wanted to also point out, if you kind of scroll down, you see all of the other sessions. There will actually be more sessions.
Wow.
Yeah, more sessions too. So over here, as you can see, we have some of our speakers, and now we see Aaron is listed over here.
Oh, and Rex is there too. All right.
Yeah, and then Rex, and then myself. Yeah, and then there are other speakers as well. And I actually want to point out, there's also over here, Brian is from Netherlands. He'll be talking. He works for Snyk. He's a Snyk. Yes, Snyk, right? Snyk, SNKYK. So the security company. So from Netherlands. So yeah, he's a good guy. He'll be talking, secure Docker containers with Java developers. And Ixchel is from, it's interesting, Ixchel is actually from Mexico originally, but lives in Switzerland. So she'll be here, and she's also Java champion, will be about dependencies. And then Mark Hackler is based in St. Louis. He used to be VM Pivotal, the Spring advocate, but now he's with Microsoft Java team. And then advocacy. And then Tim is actually the Pulsar guy from Stream Native. So he'll be here. Yeah. So he'll be talking about Apache Pulsar 101, kind of introductory with Java. So if folks want to get that, he'll be giving a talk. And then this lady, Kelly, I met her. She's a newer speaker, also from Netherlands too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, should be good. And then the rest, all of these folks too, they are from all over the world, essentially. We have here, Rustam is actually from Norway. Martin is also from Netherlands. Jeremy is from the US, but I forgot where he's from. Somewhere, Colorado, something. And then I don't know where this person is. Brian is from Seattle, I think, in Microsoft. And then I haven't met. And then John is local. John Burns here, the Kotlin Users Group lead. Yeah. And then Garrett Grunwald is with Azul, and he's from the UK, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So all of these, everybody is from everywhere. So it's really got a great lineup of developers and sessions and everything. And again, this isn't the only list. I think as such, right, the organizers, or the main organizers, I should say, are still updating this whole set of speakers too. There's still more speakers to be added and more sessions too. So that should be good. So yeah. So just wanted to share again. If folks just join here on this broadcast, and please remember to come to like myself and Rex and Aaron's our workshop on Monday, September 26th, on building e-commerce service backend with NoSQL with Cassandra and then with Pulsar. So yeah. So yeah. So that's the thing, and yeah. And let's see, what else? I'm gonna like hide this now. It's just kind of too much noise in here. Seems like yeah. Maybe I'll unshare. Let me see how to unshare. Sometimes let me kind of go back and my screen share. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, but I still have the thing behind me. So yeah, I can actually switch it to another one too. Switch it back here. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, let's see. What else can we be telling our audience about things? And Aaron, you have any kind of good things to tell us? Or
Wow. Well, actually, today I just recorded another podcast episode. For those of you who don't know, I run the Apache Cassandra Corner podcast. And today I interviewed Ekaterina from, she's from DataStax, but she is one of the main committers on the Apache Cassandra project. So yeah, so we talked a little bit about kind of her beginnings. Actually, I think it just came across TeamStacks that like this week was her 5-year anniversary in the US. I think she's originally from Bulgaria. Yeah,
very very interesting. Very interesting. I'm trying to look for your podcast so I can share it with the yeah. But on our website, is it DataStax? We have a podcast, or
I don't know. Do we have a link to it out there? I don't know that we do.
Oh, so we don't. Yeah, I'm looking for it.
See, I know it's on Spotify. You can search on Spotify and find it out there.
Okay. Yes.
But something that actually, Mary, that you may find interesting is that Ekaterina and I talked about changes that would have to happen to Cassandra for Java 17. And evidently there's a lot of a lot of dependencies on the Java 17 side that are very, very different from what Cassandra supports right now with Java 11. I think is the highest that we allow it there right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So we talked about that, and we talked about a lot of the a lot of the unit tests that have been written, and kind of how but just basically there's it's a big difference, and I'm sure but just yeah, I wish I could have prepared something to talk more intelligently about this.
No, I kind of invited you, so let me kind of move it over here.
Oh, hey, yeah, there's the podcast.
I can also share too. Let me see. Yeah.
So, anyway, long story short, Java 17 is on the roadmap for Cassandra 5. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're shooting for.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let me see. It's not share. Oh, I have to show too after sharing. Okay, there we go. So this is the Apache Cassandra Corner, right? That
Yep.
Aaron is leading on this. He's the moderator for this program. So yeah, it's got some great interview too. I listened to when you told me about it or something. You posted on our Slack. I went and listened. It's really good. I think maybe the e-commerce one. I think that was the one I.
Right. With so the one with Scott and Ryan was really funny, because they're coworkers of mine formerly, but to avoid some bureaucratic red tape, they weren't allowed to say where they worked.
Okay. So you can
anyone could go look at LinkedIn and figure out where the three of us used to work in the last year.
Okay, yeah.
Or a year and a half, actually. But
okay. So you can say it.
So I asked if we could say that they worked at Voldemort. Is what we the place that shall not be named. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, I just have it here. Maybe I'll also post it on the chat. I kind of not very good. Let me go back to the chat. So let me kind of like post it if folks wants to get to the. I just posted it too. It's basically the podcast.
Oh
Show
yeah,
on
yeah, excellent,
yeah.
excellent.
So I just folks wants to click on it on the Twitch dialogue will be faster to get to this podcast that Aaron has. So yeah, yes, it's great. Yeah, it's really great interviews that you're doing, and then I also see that we have Patrick too. Patrick, who is our DataStax, also a Cassandra leader, and who yeah, actually I can. Is he like a strategist for us for
Yeah,
advocate
so
strategist, right?
I think Patrick is the VP of, oh, what is he the VP of now? I want to say it's developer relations,
Oh yeah,
something like that.
something. Yeah.
But yeah, Patrick. What's funny is that he has done a lot of developer advocacy for Cassandra.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, and I'm talking like going back 10 years ago. I mean, he was like the first, you know, um, person that I was aware of that was doing a lot of like company sponsored, videos and things and trying to help people through.
Oh,
I mean, because really, if you think about it, be a developer advocate, I mean, that position hasn't been around very long.
yes,
If you think about it, yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Um,
exactly. So
so, so,
true.
so Patrick, in the early days of DataStax, was doing that, and he was also doing. He was like a um, the DAs that help the sales folks,
Oh,
like
that's
data
right.
architects, I
Data
think.
architects, right? Yeah, here at DataStax we have data architects. Yeah, that's right.
So,
Yeah.
so what's funny is Patrick and I actually met um, when we had some serious performance issues at Granger,
Oh,
and we had a DataStax contract tracked at that point as well.
oh,
So they said, "Hey, we've got somebody from DataStax on the phone." So we got the whole team in the room,
yeah.
and it was on this speakerphone. And he's like, "Hey, my name's Patrick McFadden. I'm from DataStax." And I'm like elbowing the person next to me, going, "That's Patrick McFadden! Oh my god!"
Oh, wow.
he was he
I
was kind
love
of a rock star in the NoSQL world at the time. It's
it.
really I make fun of him for that all the time. It's like, oh
Oh,
my god, you had no idea how psyched we were to be talking to you like
oh.
2012 or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, that is so
Yeah,
fun. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It is really, really cool. And then now, Aaron, you are also like, elevated into that that, that Cassandra like a god.
Oh no. So the analogy that I like to use is that in the in the very big world of tech, in
Yeah.
the narrow world of databases, in the even more narrow world of distributed databases and Cassandra, that's where people kind of know who I am.
Oh well.
And in terms of rock bands, if Patrick is like, Patrick's like Kiss, and I'm like Wham, or
Oh,
somebody that opens for Kiss. You know what I mean? Yeah.
no, 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 you're good. Yeah, you're very good. So yeah, but
Oh, well,
but
thank you.
it's interesting. I like how you like it describe it like using the band and kind of analogy to describe, because even I'm kind of thinking too, yeah, I'm going out to talk and all this, but I always feel like it's no big deal. I'm just like a small little kind of sliver of somewhere.
Well, the thing about you, Mary, is I think that's so cool that you're a Java champion, and
Oh
it's like,
no.
if you look at how much more ubiquitous Java is compared to Cassandra, I mean that's really
Oh,
something. I think. So
oh
I
well.
think that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
No, 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 no. I just feel like yeah, just like so funny. I mean the other day people actually it was Daniel from the one of the workshop
Hmm.
instructor. He would be there, but we were at KC last week, and he was like all of a sudden he asked me a question. He said, I want to ask you what are the Java runtime, the VM, all these settings for maximum heap size and
Oh yeah,
minimum.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like, and then he said you should know you're a Java champion. I said, oh my gosh, just because I'm
yeah.
I can't answer every single question. It's like I haven't like worked with that. And then besides, right, it used to be like 256 for Max, and that would be
Yeah,
much
yeah, yeah.
smaller. Yeah, this for Java like older version. If you can
Mm.
search, and that's another thing. You go to the website, you're searching for these things, and you get back all sorts of like unfiltered answers, and they may not apply to the current version.
Oh,
and
right,
those kind of
right.
things. Yeah, so it's really confusing. We're trying to figure it out, but I later actually found out that it is it kind of varies, right? If I have a Mac that's kind of a kind of 10 CPUs or 8 CPU, or actually I have one I was running on my personal Mac, and that's 4 CPUs, so that's like 8 GB, or actually 4 GB for the Max, and it was actually quite a big size too, and it varies based on how many processors you have for your minimum and maximum heap size. So things have certainly changed. So yeah, and yeah, I wish somebody could be documenting it properly, but then it took a while. So even like now I'm thinking, it might be good actually. I do an episode, right, of like any kind of like a Twitch stream or podcast, and just say, let's do, focus on a subject area and do some CSI kind of crime scene investigation into some of these obscure, not even like obscure, but some of these usages that are people should know, but it's not really written somewhere, because I think things are changing so fast, so nobody
Right.
quite know. Yeah, and then things have progresses, and so maybe we do some updating, do an episode of this investigation of all these things. That might be good. So
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah.
obviously, with Cassandra being written in Java,
Yeah.
Java tuning what used to be a really, really big deal.
Oh,
It's less of a big deal now because, well, mainly because of the G1 GC garbage collector kind of was it
yeah.
was a huge improvement over
That's
CMS, at least in terms of running Cassandra.
hmm
But there is so much work out there on how to properly tune
Oh, yeah.
CMS for Cassandra.
Oh.
In fact, I even know the Cassandra Jira ticket number by heart. It's
Oh.
Cassandra-8150.
Oh my God.
It has all this detail from several of the old project members who have been out there for years that we're
Yeah.
talking about, like, how they saw the best results with various heap settings and various tenuring thresholds.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting to read. It really,
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
you're right. I think when Cassandra first came out, like Java 6
Oh.
was kind of like the long-term release, so to speak.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so you were right in that, the heaps were small, and that, you probably didn't get much bigger than, 4 gigs, or really.
That's
And then when 7 came along, and later 8, the prevailing wisdom was for CMS, it's like, yeah, don't go above 8 gigs unless you know what you're doing.
Oh yeah. That was yes. Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but one of the things that it was in that Cassandra ticket that I've used to kind of help people through is that it actually recommends you setting a larger heap in the into like the 20 gigabyte realm for CMS,
Oh.
which is significant.
Oh.
It definitely is, but then they advocate for setting, like the heap new size for the new gen to be like 40 to
Oh.
50% of the max.
Oh.
So that was something that was significant. So if you're looking at a 20 gig heap, you're talking 8 to
Yeah.
10 for just the new gen.
Oh. Wow.
And then you would go ahead and set like, what is it, like tenuring threshold to something like 6 or 8.
Yeah.
And then what happens is you'd have those your objects in Cassandra, especially in like a high write throughput scenario. There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of that object churn going on.
Oh yeah.
So you'll have things that are created in the Eden space, and then based on that tenuring threshold, just moved around to survivor spaces, and that's what you want. You want
Yeah.
things to go out of scope before they get promoted, because that's what stops
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah. That is very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of some of the the history behind how a lot of the Java tuning has evolved in the Cassandra community, whereas today that's not really nearly as much of a concern as it was 6 years ago, for example.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, those are very interesting. Yeah, definitely very interesting to know. And then, yeah, Cassandra's in close tie with Java. And
Mhm. Mhm.
that is very cool. Yeah, thanks for kind of talking about it. I'm glad. Yeah, I mean we kind of just come.
This is all unscripted here, you know. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah, unscripted. Sometimes it's amazing. Unscripted, we can have some fun things too. Yeah, so that is very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, yeah, very cool. Yeah. Um, yeah, so we should, I mean, I should have you back here, Aaron, and maybe just a bit more prepare if, there's time,
oh,
there's
that'd be
anything.
great. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that'll be good. And then you can show us some more stuff, maybe just, you know, it, I think that will be good. Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah,
think of it.
absolutely.
Right? So, yeah, because as such, right, we're advocates. For me, I'm like, okay, I'm already planning. I have to plan ahead, like some of the trips and some of these other things, and yeah, it's just always something, right? It's
Oh,
actually
I
quite.
know, I know. Yeah, September is going to be is going to be busy. You know, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
lots of like
Yeah.
events and conferences and
Yeah,
all.
yeah, because we'll be in Chicago at the end of September,
Yeah,
and then I think
that's
the next week I'm at ApacheCon.
oh
Are you going
yes.
to that one in New
You know,
Orleans?
as it turns out, I have to say I would not be able to go,
Oh,
but
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, various some reason. So yeah, I won't disclose it here, but yeah, and yeah. So, but otherwise too, yeah, my talks got accepted too, but I would not unfortunately be able to go. So
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
for that, yeah. But there's also another other conferences, the DevOps. They have a bunch in Morocco and
Oh, wow.
Belgium. And if I can go to Belgium, let's see. But that's also kind of that first few weeks, and yeah. So yeah, but definitely, yeah, there will be plenty of things, yeah, to do in October. We'll be quite busy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
So,
sure, for
yeah,
sure.
and then if I think you and I, we may have something in Minnesota. Yeah, and that's where you're based at, and yeah,
Right. I
that would
submitted to what is it? The NGCC. It's
yeah, you would talk.
Northern. Oh, I forget what it all stands for
Yeah,
now. But yeah,
and I
it's in Minneapolis. Yeah, yeah, and it's the
think
same thing. It's where doing the ecom workshop. So
yeah, that's right.
yeah,
That would I think that would be
yeah.
fun. Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. Yeah, so yeah, it should be fun. And I found out that I think it was NDC, right? That one
Oh,
they have a
NBC. Yeah, yeah,
whole
that's right.
series of like conferences all over the world. I find there's NDC like London, NDC somewhere. So it's kind of one of those like a I guess like an organization runs this set of conferences everywhere. Yeah,
Oh, right,
I
right,
think
right.
yeah. So that should be fun too if we can get into that one. So
Oh,
yeah,
I know. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm kind of thinking actually I will have a short stream today. I was gonna just show my stuff. I'm not actually prepared for my things just because I have to go to another conference tomorrow, which is in Kentucky, and
Oh, wow. Yeah.
myself and David Deroff and
Oh, yeah, David.
team, yeah, and we'll be because he lives in Louisville. So
Oh,
when I
right.
submitted, I said, well, why don't I invite him? So he'll be joining me, and we're just gonna do a Pulsar talk there.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent.
so
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, but so I do need to start to get ready. I mean, it's kind of an early flight again, and so yeah, yeah, maybe I will kind of cut short today's stream, just not doing the coding part. Otherwise, too, I actually have been playing around with the trade match engine too, but I
Mhm.
haven't done much work to update it for this week. So maybe
Oh,
I'll try
gotcha.
to do it. Yeah, try to do
Well,
it.
well, thanks for having me on short notice and all. This was fun.
No problem. I love it. I love it that you just join and pop in like that, and then it's really great fun. You learn new things and kind of like on the fly. I love
Yeah,
it too.
right.
So yeah. So all right then. Yeah, and we will plan for another like a more organized. Have Aaron come back again and do some demo or something that you can show us too at another episode. So
Oh, of course.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be fun.
yeah. Okay. All right then. Yeah. I think then in this case we'll have to switch off in here and then we will say goodbye to folks and then we'll see you next time. So yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Mary. Bye bye.
Thank you, Aaron. Okay, bye bye. Yeah, bye bye. Yeah. Hi then. Okay. Okay. All right. So thank you everyone and I will see you all next time and thanks so much and let me kind of making sure I got my outro go. Okay, have a good one.